Okay, yes. Alright, so we're already in a week number 10 for critical thinking and logic. So specifically, we will be talking about um, logical fallacies. So in logical fallacies, I don't know if you would hear about um, ad hominem. No? So this is a sample of a fallacy. So first, of course, I have to give you the definition about what is logical fallacies or common. What are those common logical fallacies? So the common logical fallacies are, of course, in errors in reasoning that weaken arguments. No? So recognizing and avoiding them is essential for clear, persuasive communication, critical thinking. So first in my list is the ad hominem. Now, so what is ad hominem? So ad hominem in English, it's personal attack. No? So it is attacking the person instead of addressing the argument. For example, you can trust Jerome's argument about climate change because he's not even a scientist, right? So, of course, how to avoid? So, to avoid this kind of fallacy is to focus on the argument's content, not the speaker's character or background. Another example is that when someone is joining in a religious group, and then there would be a criticism that why he is joining in that particular congregation or organization, which is in fact he's not a good person. That's also an example of ad hominem. Next is the straw man. So the straw man is, of course, mispresenting or let's say oversimplifying someone's argument to make it easier to attack. So for example, you want to reduce military spending, so you must want our country to be defenseless. No? So that's an example of a straw man. So how to avoid? It's of course it's to represent opposing views fairly and respond to the actual argument made. No? So again, it's very important that you have to focus on the argument itself. Now, do not get out and find another stupid arguments. Of course, it's really really common, especially when we are in our emotion. So something like that. The other fallacy that I prepared is appeal to ignorance. So appeal to ignorance, or it is also termed as argument from ignorance. No? So what is that? So appeal to ignorance is somehow like claiming something is true because it hasn't been proven false, or it can be vice versa. No? So for example, no one has proven aliens don't exist, so they must be real. So how to avoid this? Of course, recognize the lack of evidence is not evidence, and base arguments on positive proof. All right. Next is the false dilemma, or it could be it can also be called as the false dichotomy. So the false dichotomy is presenting on only two options when more exist. No? So one of the example is when I don't know if you're watching about Quadcom hearing, when one of the chairperson would ask, you have to answer yes or no. Some of the arguers would say, no, you are not an investigator. You cannot say, or you cannot force me to speak or answer yes or no, because that is not the accurate, way of questioning things. You are already in a bias. Now, so for false dilemma or false dichotomy, it is for example, you're either with us or against us. Something like there are only two options, even if there are others. That could be also a sample of choice, or options rather. No? Okay. There's also the slippery slope. No? So the slippery slope, it is arguing that a small first step will inevitably lead to a chain of related events with a negative outcome. For example, if we allow same-sex marriage, next we'll have to allow people to marry animals. Okay? I don't know if you do you have questions? Hmm? Yeah. All right. Yes. Yeah. So that's slippery slope. Yeah. So demand evidence for causal links and assess each step logically. There's also what we call as the circular reasoning. No? Circular reasoning, or begging the question. No? Okay, yeah. So what is that? So circular reasoning is the conclusion is assumed in the premise. Conclusion is assumed in the premise. For example, the Bible is true because it says so in the Bible. My father is true because he said so. I am handsome because that is what my parents told me. Yeah. Okay, again, it's fallacy, right? So, how to avoid? So, in avoiding circular reasoning is provide independent support for your claims instead of relying on the conclusion as proof. No? Okay. Actually, it's very common, no? And now, as we discuss this kind of fallacy, of course, you can say, oh, what I heard from my friend, he's doing the circular reasoning, and that's a fallacy. Okay. Yeah. Another thing is, or another fallacy is that the hasty generalization. So hasty generalization is, it is something that making a broad conclusion based on a small or unrepresentative sample. Okay, something like, for example, the girls. The girl encountered a cheater, and then later he made a conclusion, or she made a conclusion that all men are cheaters. He met, or let's say she met one partner which is the cheater, or which is a cheater, and then she generalizes that all men are cheaters. I met two rude new workers, so therefore all new workers must be rude. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. That's hasty generalization. No? So does that make sense? All right. Yeah. Next is the red herring. So what is the red herring? So red herring is introducing irrelevant material to distract from the actual issue. For example, it's very common, especially in the politics, or let's say in the government, when there is an attacker of the government. It could be an opposing party or whatsoever. There would always be a comment. So, for example, is why worry about climate change when we haven't solved poverty yet? That's red herring. So, how to avoid? Of course, let's stay focused on the topic and address counter arguments directly. All right. Next is appeal to authority. What is that? Appeal to authority. Actually, it's very common. The name or the title, it's really in English, and it's easy to interpret. If you would read it, it's somehow like it's easy to understand. But what is that, by the way? So appeal to authority is using an authority figure's opinion as evidence. When Torres said, if I don't have warrant, my warrant is at home, or the warrant is at home, then this arrest would be valid. That's appeal to authority. According to Torres, of course, I should do the same. Okay, using an authority's figure's opinion as evidence when they're not an expert on the topic. For example, one of the policemen, or policeman rather, it's one. One of the policeman says, the users of illegal drugs are not a criminal, but rather a victim. They are victim of the situation because they are using drugs just to extend their time while they are at work. Okay, you can make that argument as actually part of, appeal to authority, because I would say I should use drugs because according to that policeman, it is okay as long as I am using it to extend my work, unless if I used it for other purposes. That could be interpreted in that way. Alright, anyway, never mind. Okay, the next, number 10, actually I only prepared 10 sample of common fallacies. The next one is the post hoc. What do you mean by the post hoc? So post hoc in English, it's a false cause. Okay, it's a false cause. So the false cause, it means assuming that because one thing happened after another, it was caused by it. For example, during the board exam, I wore a red underwear. After the waited, months or days, I finally passed the board exam. That's false cause. Something like if I kick the chair after taking the exam or right after taking the board exam, that's a way that I should pass the exam, or that is the cause that could possibly be the reason why I passed the exam. Something like that. For example, I wore my lucky socks and won the game. My socks caused the win. Something like that. So, how to avoid? So, it is look for causal relationships backed by evidence, not just correlation. No? The causality, the causal effects. No? Causal relationships. If there is a black sky, it could be possibly that there should be a rain right after. No? So, of course, when you are in argument, it is essential that you should identify or determine the fallacies. Okay? So, why we should, know this? Okay? So, you should, of course, it's important that you should evaluate your reasoning and be open to criticism. Make sure your premises are sound and supported. For example, all men are mortal. Socrates is a man, and therefore Socrates is mortal. Something like that. So there must be a truth when it comes of premise, and it should be aligned with, or the conclusion should be aligned with the premises or premise provided or available premises. No? Again, another thing is stay focused. Now stick to the issue and avoid distractions. Okay? Yeah. So, any other questions, everyone? Before we proceed to another topic? yeah, so our next topic would be identifying fake news, improving um, construction of um, okay, yeah, it's correct, yeah.